Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to see you all popping in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. We are about to get into today's webinar. Super excited about today's webinar, where we're going to be teaching you the 4 critical elements to helping you land a brand sponsorship deal. Really excited about this. I'm really excited. We got it covered. We really excited about this. In the chat right now, I'm seeing that many of you are in the chat. And I really appreciate you all being in the chat right now. So communicate, get to meet each other. In just a minute, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through a presentation that's going to really break down the 4 critical elements in order for you to land a brand deal. Plus, not only will I teach you that, I'm going to share with some of you because you're new to me. Some of you are hearing from me from the first time. So you'll learn a quick little bit about me. I'm going to talk about what's actually happening right now as it relates to the brand sponsorship space, like what's going on with spending, because there's so much opportunity that's available right now. And then we're going to dip into a little bit to hear from a few people that are also out there selling brand deals and how they've been doing it, and what you can learn from them. Then we'll take some of your questions, and I'll also clue you in to a new course if you would like to take a deeper dive. This is obviously, I'm going to be talking about the course. I'm going to mention it, but I will not make this an advertising promotional webinar or masterclass. This is purposeful and intentful. My job here today is to teach you the 4 elements and give you practical and useful advice that you can use right away to start going on your way to land sponsorship deals. And then if you would like to go deeper, or if you would like to go into more, you'll learn about our course, but there's no obligation for that. But I want you to at least be exposed to what the course is all about. All right, so let's get ready to dig in right here, right now. I want to say hello to everyone that's popping in. Carlina, Lisa, Shannon, who else? Natasha. I see y'all in the chat. I appreciate you doing it. Harriet, good afternoon to you as well. And Jeanette's in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so let's get into this. Let me share the screen here and get started with right away with jumping into what I want you all to understand and really benefit from. And so first thing right out the gate that I want to bring to your attention is that brand spending is up. It is up. So I know there are a lot of things that are happening right now. And I know a lot of things that, due to the pandemic, there were a lot of things that were pulled back, obviously. But what we're seeing right now, this is coming from the Wall Street Journal. This was out today. This isn't last week. This isn't a month ago. This is out today. The current rate of ad spending growth is likely to be the fastest in the post-war era. Now, this is according to the president of U.S. for Magna Global, which is a major advertising buying arm for Interpublic Group of companies, a whole conglomerate. So he's saying that we're seeing advertising surges pretty much across the board. That means all categories. So brand spending has been paused due to the pandemic. And now, so they've been sitting on this money because they haven't been able to use it. Now it's like, it really is happening all over the place. Look, let me show you another thing that's actually taking place. Branded content, influencer marketing and branded content and influencer marketing are making up basically the biggest parts of the digital ad budget, up 32%. People, we're talking about billions of dollar industry, billions of dollars. When you are in a billions of dollar industry and it goes up not by 5%, which would be more incremental, more normal, 32%, spending is off the charts right now, especially in digital, because physical things have been still held up, but that's opening. Event budgets are opening. Physical budgets are opening. And virtual is not going to get put away. Virtual is just getting added to the mix. So digital and physical are all booming right now, and it's going to continue this way. This is why it's important to be in front of brands at this particular time. All right, so I wanted to get your attention to let you know that this is real time, what's actually happening in the industry. So now let me just explain to you a little bit about my background, why I know so much about brand sponsorships, and then we'll get right into the 4 things that can help you land a sponsorship deal. Number 1 about me is I'm a 2-time Emmy winner. You can see one of them or 2 of them here. In the shot. And I've sold over $3 million worth in sponsorship deals. Over $3 million. So that's been able to enable myself and CEO Nicole, who runs our company, to be able to build two businesses: Mario Armstrong Media, which handles all the personal brand stuff that I do about me, public speaking, things like that, being a partner with Damon John's Shark Group Speakers, stuff like that. But then there's also Never Settle Productions, which is all of our content that really gets done really based around the Never Settle show, which is our flagship product. So all of that has helped me be able to have a staff, have a team, and through sponsorships, I've been able to develop a repeatable formula. And we haven't had to, the good thing about brand sponsorships is that you don't have to ask for money from venture capitalists or take out loans. It's not like we never took out loans. Obviously, we dipped into our own spending. We dipped into our own credit cards. And we have a whole story about that, about when we were going broke. But sponsorships is what unlocked this whole thing for us. So it's a real thing that's happened to me, and I know a lot about it. And it changed my life. It literally, I can't be more serious about how it changed my life, because it was the pathway out. We launched our business. It was prior to 2008. The 2008 market crash happened. We had a major deal that was going to launch our company. That deal fell through before the crash happened. And then the crash took place. So we ran out of our 401k. We both had well-paying jobs. Nicole was in a six-figure job. And I had asked her to leave her job to come and run this idea to really build this company. And so as you can see here, we had multiple accounts because we had two decent earnings. We had a savings for our son, Christopher. We had a spending. We had, at this point, we had a business account as well. But as you can see, things didn't work out too well on that launch because we launched during a recession. And the thing that got us out of this pain was sponsorships and really understanding how to go after sponsorships. So really quickly, what that looks like to us, I want to show you some of the real things that have happened and taken place. Number one, we've done all types of advertising and sponsorship types. So there are so many ways that you can actually engage a sponsor. There are so many departments that you can actually get sponsorship funding from. I'm just talking about inside the brand at this point. You could be getting it from PR. You could be getting it from communications, marketing, social media, human resources, diversity and inclusion, corporate social responsibility. That's what, 5 or 6 different departments that I just mentioned within one brand. I haven't even talked about PR firms, ad agencies, and marketing agencies. So the different things that brands do run the gamut. So what you see right here is what's called an activation. This is when we did in DC's Union Station, at the train station. And we set up a shop with Capital One where we were interviewing people and doing giveaways. And we were talking about the new app and how they could use the new app to better manage their finances. So that's called an activation. Another type of brand sponsorship is just straight content. So whether that's something for social media, whether it's a YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, or in this case, doing webisodes for brands. So there's all types of different ways that you can take your expertise and turn that into content. Later, we're going to hear from Caryn, who has her own cooking program that she does and cooking videos that she creates. She's a parenting expert, a lifestyle expert, an entrepreneur who's built an amazing app for language learners. And she's learning how to, she just bought the course, but she's learning how she can fully see that I could actually be getting brand deals for the content that I'm producing. So if any of you are content creators, stick around, don't you move. Events are big, and as I mentioned, they're growing. So this is a big category, both virtual and physical events. As you can see, we did work here with Target. And this other one, we did work with so many different brands, Epson, Beats by Dre, iRobot. And then, of course, podcasts and social media posts. This is an example of, you can go right to my Instagram feed and you'll see this, that I'll do my Wake Up and Level Up podcast, which is an audio-based podcast, but we also shoot video of it. So the audio goes out with a brand sponsor connected to it, but then the video goes out and you can see the Zenni sponsorship connected to that. Zenni is my eyewear sponsor. It's a multi-year deal that I have with them. And it's because we got to alignment. And when I pitched them, I really pitched them on a way using these 4 tactics that I'm about to teach you on how to close that deal. And then, of course, our Never Settle web series. So this is our YouTube show and digital web series that we do. And this is a headphone brand called EPOS. So there are all types of ways that you can actually get brands to participate in your ideas, in your businesses. I mean, I'm talking everything from if you got a food truck all the way over to I make content and develop podcasts. So let's get into the 4 critical components to land a brand sponsorship deal. Number 1, in order to land a brand sponsorship deal, there are 4 essential components that you have to nail: sponsor priorities, your products and assets, your uniqueness or your USP, your unique value proposition or UVP, and your audience. So sponsor priorities, your products and your assets, your audience, and your uniqueness. When you hit all 4 of those particular critical elements, you get what's in the center. And the center gives you the alignment. You see, if you just know what the sponsor priorities are and you know what it is that you're pitching, like I'm pitching an event, or I'm pitching my cooking series, or I'm pitching my book tour because I want to get that paid for. Whatever their product is, that's really just a tangible opportunity. Yeah, it's something you could pitch, but you haven't really figured out your uniqueness and you haven't really figured out your audience and understood how that connects to the sponsor's priorities. So what we're trying to do is really get to the centerpiece, which means you need to know your sponsor priorities very clearly, or the sponsor priorities very clearly, your product and assets, your uniqueness, and your audience. By knowing all 4 of those, when they merge together, that gives you the alignment. You cannot do a deal with a brand or any sponsor without alignment. That is the telltale sign. That's why many pitches get put right into the recycle bin, because they can tell these are seasoned people. You got to understand, these are people that get pitches every single day. So they're used to seeing things that are consistent and the same. By the way, you never want to do a pitch with 3-tier pricing ever again. 3-tier packages are out. Do not do gold, silver, bronze. They will immediately know that you have not been updated on what's the right way and the latest way to pitch them. And that's an immediate telltale sign that the rest of this proposal probably isn't going to be great, even if it is. So that's just a little takeaway tidbit right there. So these 4 things, all right? So let's go into each one of them one by one for a second here. But let me just check in with you. If any of you are having questions along the way, make sure you type your question in the Q&A box. I won't be able to follow it along in the chat. So if you have questions about branding, sponsorships, anything like that, or even about the course that we're going to be talking about, anything, put it in the Q&A so we can see it early enough so that I can make sure that we answer those questions. I definitely want this session to be me giving you this mini masterclass for a few more minutes, give you some practical things that you can go do, but then I really want to get into Q&A with you so that I can answer your custom specific questions that can give you more value and more advice to your specific nuances. All right, so make sure that you're using the Q&A portion of that while you're doing that, okay? All right, let's move over to now the first piece that I want to discuss. The first critical element is your uniqueness. This is the thing that makes you different and makes you credible. It's what other people may call your unique selling proposition or your unique value proposition. Your uniqueness has to be defined. Here's why. Many of you think you have to have a large following or a large access or large connections. So many of you could be getting brand deals with minimal and very low following if you knew how to leverage your uniqueness. Brands buy you before they buy your idea. Because your idea, while it could be great, if they don't believe that you can pull it off, if they don't believe that you have something special about you that makes this thing make sense, and if you haven't been able to communicate that to them, it doesn't matter how great the idea is. It doesn't matter. So many of you may have sent out pitches before, or you may have talked to someone and you may not have expressed fully what your value is and what makes you unique. And while the idea was great, they may not have gone through with that idea because they didn't think that you were capable or had the credibility enough to pull that thing off. So how do you get to your uniqueness? You ask yourself, what makes me different? And I'm not talking, here's where the confusion comes into play. Oh, Mario, you mean you're talking about my event, my podcast, my book tour? What makes that different? No, we're not there yet. That's your product. That's not you. That's what people miss. They go straight to the product, straight to pitching the product. I'm getting you to take a step back to understand what they actually are looking for and what works. Number one, you have to be clear about you. So one of our recent students that just signed up for the course, the enrollment ends Friday. One of our recent students just signed up for the course, and she said, hey, we are track and field buffs. And we have a dream and a vision for how we're going to create a track and field community, but we need like a couple of $1,000,000 to lay down an actual track. And I want to get sponsors for this. I want to get people involved in this. And so there are steps that we're teaching her on how you can first be so clear about your credibility. She's got a lot of credibility in this space. Her and her husband have a lot of credibility in this space. Caryn, who you're going to meet later, has a lot of credibility in parenting and in lifestyle and in cooking. How is she amplifying that credibility to prove that she has the chops, the receipts, and the expertise? And here's the thing. So many of you need to remember that your experience is your expertise. That's what makes you an expert. So stop thinking that you have to have these check boxes of certificates or degrees, or that you haven't been doing enough work. If you are a mom and you are a parenting expert and you're raising 2 healthy kids and you know how to cook meals that are incredible and you know how to do some certain lifestyle things, because you've been doing it gives you the credibility. So often we're looking for something else that we haven't hit yet for our own bar of success, our own bars of achievement, and that's holding us back from presenting ourselves. So we need to get really clear on who we are and what makes us unique. What makes Mario unique, for example, you're trying to identify your superpower. So a question, and if you're too close to yourself on this, here's a really great tip. Ask some of your friends, family members, or peers. Ask them, what do they see about you that makes you different? Don't ask them why. Don't tell them why. Don't give them anything to bias the question. Just say, what about me makes me unique? And let them answer. And get it written down. Get it sent to you in a text or in an email, or write it down as they're saying it. Because you need to see on paper what it is that actually makes you unique. What makes me unique is my sales experience. What makes me unique is the ability to actually build a business off of brand dollars and being able to fund 2 companies. What makes me unique is my energy, my communication skills, the mastery of knowing how to communicate and to teach. Those are the things that makes me unique in terms of those intangibles. What makes me unique tangibly? My eyewear makes me unique. I have several different pair of eyewear at any given moment that you may see me wearing. So my eyewear makes me unique when you see me physically. My sneakers make me unique when you see me physically. So all of those things make me actually unique. And so you have to know what makes you unique. Okay, so that's incredible. That's very, very, very important. All right, number 2, your audience. You have to understand your audience. And I'm not talking about the basics. Oh, I know my audience, Mario. They are moms who have newborns, that are millennials. Okay, great. So you're telling me some categories and some labels about your audience. But what do you really know about your audience? How do you get deeper into the understanding? Because the client is going to ask you, who are we reaching? And what they're not looking for is just the age demographic, 18 to 24, 25 to 54. They get that all the time. Yes, that's a part of it. You will need the demographics, but there is a very big difference between demographics and psychographics. You have to know the psychographics of your audience. So the demographics are going to be the things like household income, zip codes, like cities, states they live in, level of education, whether they are a household with 2 kids or 4 kids, all of those things, the ethnicity, the gender, 60% are female, 60% are, male, like all these things. So that's going to be your demographics. And that's important. But what really sells the brand are the psychographics. So if you've never heard of this term, if you don't know what this is the ability for you to find out the hobbies, the interests, the consumption habits. Why do people that are following you, listening to you, viewing you, interacting with you, buying your book, buying your product? Why? What are the other habits, the values about them that they do? What TV shows, what Netflix shows, what things, what websites do they go to? Like, who are these folks? So for example, when we're promoting and publishing and really trying to get brand deals for Never Settle, well, that's a web series that is specifically targeted at individuals that are creators and are entrepreneurs. That's it. They're creators and they're entrepreneurs. And so we know demographically, I can have them answer a survey and I can get the age, the ethnicity, the gender, household income, all of that stuff. But what I also ask them is, what technology do you use? What's the most important? What are the 3 top pieces of software you need in order to be productive or effective? So what that starts to indicate to me are the types of tools and products and things that they use. Oh, Mario, we use Wix.com to build our websites. Perfect. So many of you keep telling me that you're using Wix. I'm going to now approach Wix and tell them so much of my audience is using it and so many more would like to learn more from you. It makes a lot of sense for you to be a brand sponsor with us. And that actually happened. Wix actually became a brand sponsor with the show. So knowing the psychographics. So the question that you asked for me is, Mario, how do I get that? You do surveys. I don't care if you got 15 people right now that are following you. You survey them. Do you really know their hobbies and interests? Do you really know what products they buy? Because that becomes your initial target list of clients to go after. If you have customers, viewers, readers, listeners, already attendees, already buying a certain product, that brand should know. But guess what else? The competing brand should know too. So you're doing the main brand a favor. I'm doing Wix a favor by saying, hey, Wix, we got a lot of people that are supporting your service, but I bet you I can convert them into premium users. I bet you if I could integrate you into content, I could show them more things that they could be doing so that they keep the Wix service or that they upgrade your plans. And oh, by the way, I'll be introducing you on a show that will have more new people coming to it, and they will learn about Wix as a tool to help their business and their productivity and their website and their e-commerce sales. So all of that gets like embedded into it, right? But if Wix passes, then I start looking at other places. I start looking at like GoDaddy. I start looking at other web page builders. And I start saying to them, we got a ton of people that follow us on our show that use Wix. Wouldn't you rather them be using your software? So it works to your advantage in both ways. So even if one brand, the brand that you would like to have says no, you can use it as advantageous component for like going to the competition. All right, so that's your demographic and psychographics. We use Google Forms. There are so many other, survey tools that are out there. I like Google Forms because it's easy, it's free, and you could just set it up. Just go to Google Forms. And if you're like, hey, Mario, I'd really like to get a larger audience than just my audience. If you really want to put a little bit of money behind it, one little advanced tip is that you can actually pay Google to send out. So essentially you pick like, oh, I want to reach mothers ages this to this that buy these kind of products that live in these areas of the country, or whatever the drill downs, whatever the keywords, whatever the categories are. And then Google will take your survey and send it out to hit those audiences. And you only get charged for the surveys that are actually completed. So if you're like, I really would like to get help getting reach to an audience to really help inform me, there are ways that you can do this relatively inexpensively on your own to get that information. All right, let's move on. We got to get to number 3, your products and assets. Shai, tell me in the chat, text me that we're doing okay and how everything is going so far. Just want to get a little update from you. 3, your products and assets. Now, your products and assets are the things that you're actually selling or the things that you can potentially sell. And what I find here is that so many people don't even know that they have sponsorable things about them. That's one of the things that I enjoy. Like even Caryn had said, Mario, until you started talking more about brand sponsorships and how you can actually engage a brand, I kind of missed it. The light bulb went off, but I didn't see what you saw. And so it's going to be interesting to hear from her in a few minutes what she actually saw and why that clicked for her. So these are ideas. It could be content. It could be events. Could be social media. You saw that tip earlier, that branded content, meaning content that has a sponsor attached to it, which means anywhere, social media, YouTube, anywhere, podcasts, that was the highest area for digital ad spending right now. And it's going to continue that way going forward. But even for your business, I have a student right now that hit me up yesterday, and she was like, look, I'm a fashion stylist. This is her day job. Check this out. She's a fashion stylist. She styles people for their job. She has great corporate clients that she like makes them look good and builds their confidence, and they look stylish, right? But she's building an app. And she's building an app that's basically, and I don't want to say too much about it, but she's building an app that's going to connect her and her style and her content and her expertise with corporate brands and also individuals. And she was asking me, does it make sense for me to be thinking about sponsorship when typically the app is driven to individuals? And I said, yes, it absolutely makes sense, depending on what the app is, of course. Not every app needs brand sponsorship or should have it. But if you're developing an app that's going to be something based around fashion, you're also going to be developing content. You're going to have video. You're going to have makeovers. You're going to have before and afters. You're going to have contests. You're going to have challenges. It's just inevitable that you're going to do this. You're going to do events. You're going to do pop-ups at salons. You're going to do pop-ups at other places. You might show up at New York Fashion Week. So all of these things lend yourself to enable brands to participate with your app. So wait, Mario, you're telling me I could actually go to a brand and potentially get $25,000 or $50,000 and not have to go ask for that money from an angel investor? Absolutely. Absolutely. All day. And here's the thing, fashion stylists, aren't you doing pop-up events right now? Yeah, I am. And we call them sip and shop. And we lay out the clothes and they come in, they get wine and blah, blah, blah. So what branding is happening there? What sponsorships are happening at your sip and shops? What? Nothing. Wait, hold on. Don't you want to get brands onto your app at a real high 5- and 6-figure deal? Yeah, of course. Well, let's get the relationship started with your in-person sip and shops that you're doing in Atlanta. So now I'm teaching her to go after the brands, to get them introduced to who she is and what she does at a lower entry level. I'm reducing the least path of resistance to help her get her product and asset in front of people. So while her main goal is for her to get people to fund the app and to be a part of that from corporate to individual, B2C as well as B2B, that's her main goal, but that's going to take time. So how do we start building relationships and getting paid in the process towards that main goal? We start to sell sponsorship packages for her sip and shops. And so now she's like, oh my gosh, right. They can come in, be a part of that, start to feel the experience, see me in action, do my expertise. We do social media. They feel great. And as the app is being developed and furthered along, now I have a contact that I can talk to at Coca-Cola and these other brands that she has access to in Atlanta. So that's how this works, really understanding your product, but also understanding what your ultimate goal is and where you're trying to get to. And then how Mario can help you bring that goal down so that you can start getting sponsorship early so that you can bring that into the full-on goal. So with the example that you heard me talking about earlier with the track and field folks that are looking to get $3 million to build an indoor track, of course, that's going to take time. Now, she might get some big wins right out the gate that may want to invest in this because there's other things happening in the market. There are other things happening in the community. There's other things happening with philanthropic and people that may give to this cause. She doesn't know that yet until she starts pitching the right people, which is what I'm going to teach her how to do. But I'm also going to be talking to her about what's the smallest way to start. Do we need to start having track and field sessions? Should we have track and field virtual talks? Should you be doing should you be a plug-in to somebody else's event? It's going to be a ton of outdoor events going on right now. What if you could get your track and field event plugged in to someone else's existing infrastructure, but a brand paid for it? So it's this type of thinking that gets you in the game and gets you started and opens up the door and the pathway with the relationship while still layering the steps to the big goal and getting paid in the process. So that's understanding your product and your assets. Truly, what is your product and what makes it different? Now, I talked about understanding your uniqueness in the marketplace. You also need to know your uniqueness about your product in the marketplace. What really makes it different? So part of this whole 4 concentric circles, as you're starting to hear, really all comes from one main source. clarity. And a lot of times you need someone from the outside looking in to help you get that. So ask other people around you, ask mentors, ask me in the DMs on Instagram. I'm always available. And if it makes sense, you go deeper into the course where you get that hand holding from me at getsponsorshipmoney.com, getsponsorshipmoney.com. All right, let's look at the very last thing here. We talked about the 3 different circles. Now we're on to our 4th circle and our last one. Sponsor priorities, probably the most important circle. For those that don't remember the circles, here's what they are again. Sponsor priorities, your products and assets, your audience, and your uniqueness. So far, we've gone through your uniqueness, your audience, and your products and assets. The 4th and final piece that's critical to landing a brand deal is sponsor priorities. So let's go into that right now. Sponsor priorities. Sponsors are looking for mainly 3 things. First off, they're looking for alignment. So to get to that alignment is the first thing you have to do. But once you do that, in terms of the execution of what they want to try to accomplish, they're looking for one or all 3 of these things. Exposure. This is just them blasting themselves out there because they want to be in front of your audience because of the alignment, because they think it makes sense. So they want exposure. That's a rare buy where people just want to buy for exposure. The second way they buy is for conversion. This is more of why most brands will buy from people like us that are developing ideas to connect them to. Conversion. And the reason why that is because with conversion, they're looking to get something in return. So they're looking to either give you a coupon code, or they're looking to get access to maybe the email addresses from people that are signing up. So like, for example, with our show, they were looking for a number of things. They're looking for coupon codes to who's going to use it, to Wix, to who's registered for different things that we're doing, and can they get access to that registration. They're also going to sponsor the step and repeat. So that's a part of the exposure. So when you walk into our studio and into our show, you see all these brands and all these logos. That's part of the exposure. But then I integrate them into the show. That's going to give them leadership authority because now they're connected in a tangible way. But then I'm also going to give you a coupon code that's giving you conversion. So a brand may want one, or a brand may want a mix, but exposure is just that. They just want to be seen. Conversion is actually them getting something tangible in return. It could be sales. It could be data. 3, leadership authority. This is them just wanting to be associated with you and in front of your audience because it makes them look good, because then they hope that will turn into conversion. Okay, so they are really strategic about what they're doing. Most brands want conversion, but it's really a great thing when brands understand that they need a mix of these things, and you can provide that. So you can't pitch a brand until you know what their priorities are. This is why I teach people to get the discovery call, not the pitch. If you're just sending pitches to people, I just talked to a potential student out of Chicago. We did a live Instagram. Some of you may even saw this, where I was in real time teaching her how she should be retargeting and retweaking her entire pitch. She was going after a mental health and wellness event. She's a mental therapist and an expert in that space. It's in Chicago. She's doing the event in the summer, and she had been sending out the pitch proposal just to all these companies that she thinks has money, right? Insurance companies, beverage companies, entertainment companies. Of course, they got money. They'll do it. There was no context. She's just sending the pitch. Oh, this is a great idea. People are going to want to sponsor my mental therapy event because this is a good time to have that. People are dealing with lockdown, COVID. They're dealing with social injustice, all these things that are causing mental therapy. Entrepreneurs need mental therapy just to hold it together. Moms need mental therapy. The kids need some therapy. So there's a lot that mental health and wellness is a major category. And it's a major category, not just in life, but also in sponsorship. Lots of money in that space. So she thought she was going to send out this pitch proposal, and she's been getting nothing. Nothing. She did the spray and pray method and got no results. Within like 10 minutes on that IG Live, I had her completely understanding why she was getting no reaction and what she was going to do to change that. And she literally started tearing up on the IG Live because finally someone really understood what she was doing, and someone that's actually been through it not last year, not 2 years ago, over several years, and have accrued over $3 million in sponsorship deals, not because I got lucky with one brand or two brand, because I've done this dozens of times. From as small as $5K to as high as $138,000, or in the case of one of the other brands, $186,000. So getting 5 and 6 figure deals is something I routinely know how to do, and understanding where you are in the process and how to help you get clear about your uniqueness, your audience, your products and assets, and then understanding how to uncover the sponsor priorities. There's no way you can't win, because you're doing way more than the average person, way more. Okay. With that being said, let's go to our special guest. We're going to take a special guest really quick, only like 2 minutes here. And then I'm going to answer your questions. And then I want to spend, I'm going to try to do that in like 90 seconds, showing you the insides of the actual course. For those of you that are really serious, because I'm only offering this type of advice and this package that you're going to see once. And this isn't a gimmick. I'm not, look, in sponsorship sales, I would be completely losing my credibility right now if I did some kind of gimmick with you and then change the price to make it lower later. Like, that's not, Mario's got too much reputation. I'm not going to lose it in one call or in one moment. We built up decades of reputation. And two, I actually give a damn about you. I really do care that you take this course and that you have a win. And so I'm going over the top in terms of the amount of hours that I'm going to be spending with you, hand-holding you, being there to guide you, but the content itself stands up on its own. So anyway, without further ado, I want to bring in Dr. Vibe to bring him up with us here. Dr. Vibe, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I think I have to stop sharing here and maybe bring, so we don't have your picture. That's fine. We don't need your picture. Let's talk about Dove Men Care. You don't have video, right?
No, I'm trying to, it says you cannot because of the host has stopped it.
Okay, let me just see if I can actually change that for one quick second. See if that helps you or not.
Let me just see. No.
Yeah, I see you now.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you. Let me know in the chat. You all see him, right? Shy, let me know in the chat. Do you all see Dr. Vibe now on screen as well?
All right.
Let me know. It looks like we see you just fine. So that's great.
All right. Here we go.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. How are you?
Always good. How's Nicole, Christopher, family, and Never Settle family?
Everybody's doing great. Thanks for asking.
Good.
So we'll jump right to it because we got short on time, and I told people I try to keep it short and brief. I brought Dr. Vibe on because he's a content creator. He has a show based out of Canada. It's a leading show and an award-winning show out of Canada that's all about leadership and Black fatherhood. And he was able to, from some of the principles that he's learned from me, been able to actually secure a deal, a brand deal with Dove Men Care. Major. So Dr. Vibe, tell us really quickly about your deal with Dove Men Care, and what was the thing that helped you get them to sign on with the opportunity with you?
Well, again, thank you for the privilege to share with you and the community. The thing I wanted to, and is part of Dad Central, which is Canada's national father organization, we wanted to align with a brand that supports fathers. And one of the main messages for Dove Men Care is to push paternity leave. So when I reached out to them and they said, a national organization that can get our message of pushing paternity leave to right across Canada, there was mutually interest right from the get-go.
And what do you think was the thing that really has you most excited about doing? What did a brand deal mean for your show? What does that mean? Huge
credibility, because when you say Dove Men Care, people know that brand. And on top, it's the only show in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Care. So even then they're saying, okay, what does Dr. Vibe and Dad Central got going on? Because I have a lot of fathers that I communicate in the United States. I'm going, how did you do that? like you just got like 30 million people and you got this brand deal with this major brand that we can't get. So the credibility piece, and also we're helping fathers and their families get better on a national basis. So
Right. And
it's
they
a
want it
win.
to be aligned with that.
Yes, exactly.
Now
Exactly.
tell me your Instagram following is at about what? What numbers wise?
Well, my personal one is about 2,000, but Dad
Yeah, no, no,
Central.
no.
Oh,
No, but this is important
yeah,
because I need people to understand
yeah.
that it's not about the following count.
No,
So
it
you
isn't.
have 2,000
Yeah,
solo. Now,
yeah.
what you did, if I recall correctly, is you've aggregated the people that are involved
Mhm.
in your particular show, and then
Yes.
you use a larger number, not
Yes.
just your number. This is a
Yeah.
very instrumental thing. So talk about that real quick, because this is a way when you have small followings that you can leverage to present a stronger number if in fact you need that. Sometimes you don't even need to.
Yeah. So they leverage and they saw what we're doing. And just a little sidelight, Dad Central has a smaller Instagram following than I do. But the thing is, we were able to leverage, and again, as you said, the alignment of the brand message and what we are doing. That was the aligning piece. So we've been able to grow. And like, we started the relationship last year in March, and they gave us a target from March to the end of last year. We blew by it by 15 points. And this year's target, they raised our target by 10%. We've already blown by that target by 15 points.
And what are you doing? And this is a very good tip. So what I want you to also teach people is, now that you know this, so that contract ends what, months from now, right?
At the end of the year.
End of the year. So listen to what he's doing, y'all. We are in May right now. What are you getting ready to do in May to get their attention?
Oh, well, they already know. We're already asking to start talking about next year's contract.
And
Right?
why are you doing that?
Because we want to we want to say, hey, if they're not serious, we're going to start pitching to other organizations, because we are giving them numbers that are superseding anything. And they're saying we're not waiting to the end, because a deal process can take a long time.
So that's my point. That's what I wanted you to see if you could share with people. Like, your contract ends at the end of the year, but that's not the only time for you to touch back with the sponsor.
Right.
If you have good news, you always reach back out to the sponsor. So
Absolutely.
Here you are in first quarter ish of the year, already surpassing the goal. You're going to reach out to them and you're saying, we've already surpassed your goal. Let's go ahead and sign up now for the next year, or maybe even a 2-year deal to get
Absolutely.
that deal locked in.
Absolutely. Another thing we're doing is now, with the strong numbers we have and the relationship we have with Dove Men Care, we're already going to be pitching to other brands that relate to fathers based on our success with Dove Men Care.
Oh, this is powerful. So this is where the repeatable process comes into place. Once you
Exactly.
learn how to pitch once, you can do it over and over. But hear what he just said. This is why I wanted to talk to you, because I knew you would be able to give tips beyond just the 4 elements that I wanted to teach today. The tip is to start to find products and services, brands, companies that are adjacent. They're connected to an existing brand that he already has. So he's leveraging the fact that he has Dove Men Care on board, right? But what else goes with soap? Washcloths go with soap. What else goes with soap?
Well, like, we're going to be pitching to Home Depot, because fathers build stuff. We're looking at pitching to toy companies. There's all these different things that dads use or come in contact with, and their kids, that we're going to be pitching out to, again, using the anchor of our success with Dove Men Care and those numbers.
So that's perfect. So actually what I'm teaching you is a second thing. So there's 2 things that we're saying here. One is he's saying leveraging the name brand recognition of a brand like Dove. And there are tactics and ways that you can actually get a name brand sponsor that may not give you money initially, but could give you something else in kind. And then you use that logo to now go out to the marketplace to get funding and get money. So that's a whole other strategy. But secondly, he's saying that he's using the Dove Men logo and that relationship and the wins that they've had to now go say, hey, Home Depot, hey, toy company, hey, other brands, look at what we've done for Dove. We can do something similar for you. And then the third thing that I'm saying is, you could also say, well, what else goes with Dove? I would be calling Dove to also ask them, hey, what are other products that make people use more Dove? Because if we're already in relationship to help you get more Dove out there, how can I help you get people using more Dove. Oh, well, Mario, they need to be doing, more activities or gardening or whatever it is. Okay, the Home Depot comes into play, and all these other things come into play. Do you have a contact at one of those brands that maybe I can call? That because do you have a peer over at one of those brands or a friend over there so that we can get them, I can get them on board and we can get people go running through that process so I can sell more soap for you? Like, it's those kind of conversations that can really change the game. Plus they see you as a solution, not just someone pitching a product or an idea.
Well, just one last thing. And one of the great things that Mario taught me is when I had my first conversation with their PR agency, Edelman, after they grilled me for 45 minutes, and Mario knows where I'm going to with this. And they said, do you have any questions for us? And it was 3 ladies. I couldn't see them. And I said, yeah, I have a question for you. You 3 ladies are Edelman. You work with the Dove Men Care brand. What are the 3 things that keep you up at night working with the Dove Men Care brand? And the phone went silent for 45 seconds. I love after they came up off the floor, they said, we've never been asked that question before. So
I'm pausing on purpose because number one, take that away, y'all. That's a very good question to implement. What keeps you up at night as it relates to your brand or your company or your product? But number 2, did you all hear that? That changed. He was no longer someone pitching an idea to them. He became someone that actually cared about understanding their real challenges and how he could do the best he could with his products and his asset and his audience to try to figure out how he could customize a solution that would matter to them. And that's the game changer.
Well, as Mario said, when you pitch, it's about the client. It's not about you.
Yep. But often it's about we're so excited about our pitch. We're like, oh, come on, you got to back this. Who wouldn't want to back a show or a content or this thing or this event? And that's how you're supposed to be. But you have to understand that's not their job.
Yeah, you want to be a servant leader for them.
That's right.
You want to be a servant leader for them.
Dr. Vibe, man, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for jumping on the webinar. You can learn more about Dr. Vibe. He's also a testimonial that's on the website at getsponsorshipmoney.com. Dr. Vibe, also give a shout out to where they can follow you and where your show is so that they can check you out.
My show is the drvibeshow.com and on Instagram, the drvibeshow.
The Dr. Vibe Show. You can find him everywhere you need to. Stick with him. He's a great guy. Thank you so much, Dr. Vibe. Really appreciate it.
Be blessed. Keep the faith, everyone. Keep safe.
Hey, real quick, man. I'm sorry. I'll just let him go too fast.
No, I'm back.
Yeah, real quick. How many years have you been following me?
About 6, 7.
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You know what? You got me.
I'm putting you on the spot. Is there any one thing in particular that you've seen me do that a complete stranger wouldn't know about me that maybe would be helpful for you to, like, if you were to talk to a friend of yours, be like, yo, I know you don't know Mario, but here's what he's about. He's got this course. He's going to be pushing this course, but this guy isn't just selling to be selling. I'm not trying to tee this up. I'm just trying to help see if you can share anything that you've witnessed over those years that maybe would matter to a stranger. Is there anything that comes to mind? If not, no big deal.
No, I think there's so many things, but one of the key things is clarity. And I referred back to the other night when you were on Clubhouse for about 4 hours. And you said, honestly and truly, hey, I don't really care about the course on that. I just want to have people get breakthroughs. And Mario and Nicole and the team just want you to get breakthroughs because we're all working it, trying to work it out. But Mario is the master of clarity, and he will invest the time, even though he's got a lot of people on board, but clarity and breakthroughs, he's been passionate, and he gets better and better and better at it all the time. And it doesn't, like, there's not too many things he can't give you clarity because he's been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we've seen some stuff.
Yeah. And he wants to share his story. If you want to know about the power of sharing a story, Mario and Nicole, his wife, there you go.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You've been a great friend, and I'm so excited about you as a student because you actually put in the work, and that's what makes the difference. You take the advice and you put in the work, and you're getting results. So keep going, man. Thanks for jumping in here. Okay?
All right, man. Be well.
Okay. All right, you too. Appreciate that. All right, real quick, I wanted to, and I told you I'm going to try to do this in only 90 seconds. So we've spent maybe a little over a half hour, 40 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up quickly. I promised that this would only be about a half hour. So I apologize, but I'm going to get us done here so that you all can end in the next 8 minutes. But I got to mention the course. So if you think about all the content that we've already talked about, I haven't touched on the course not one bit yet. The course is called GetSponsorshipMoney.com. I just really quickly would like to show you the behind the scenes of the actual course so that you can understand what's actually involved in the course. So let me just show you this really quick, and then I'm going to go to your questions. And like I said, I'm going to try to do this in like 90 seconds so that you all don't get overly pitched to. And here we go. So inside the actual course, you will get access to 6 different modules that will teach you everything from how to pitch, what to say, how to close the deal, how to develop your pitch deck, the questions that you need to ask in order to make a successful discovery call, how to identify the companies, how do you get the email addresses or the DMs for the people that you should be approaching, how to monetize this whole vision of yours, the research that's involved. We even give you spreadsheets, templates, all types of materials and resources for you throughout these 6 modules. Not only that, you get Zoom office hour schedules. So an hour and 15 minutes, twice a week, I will be meeting with you. The deal is that you're going to, in 4 weeks, you're going to be ready. So if you take this course, in 4 weeks or less, it's up to you because it's a self-paced course. It's on demand. Once you buy it, you own it. You have it for life. 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. We stand behind the product because we really believe in it. And I'm giving you twice a week for 4 weeks, not one-on-one, but group video calls that will feel like one-on-one because I'll be taking questions from you in advance and grouping them so that I can answer very specific questions rapidly and get you answers that you need twice a week. So you're going to get access to my knowledge, my skill set, understanding of where you're going, what you're trying to do. And that in and of itself is really not even worth the money that I'm charging. The money that I'm charging doesn't even cover the 8 hours, let alone a whole course with video and modules and things for you to actually go through. So you get these Zoom office hours. In addition, you get a whole workbook with a PDF that you can download as well. And by the way, this whole workbook breaks down everything, and it has activities that you go through while you are actually in the course. So as you're going through the course, you're actually building up your pitch deck. You're building up all these things that are going to help you get to that particular point that's going to get you to be closer to selling and getting those deals closed. So I just wanted to mention that really quick. If it's of interest to you, you need to go to GetSponsorshipMoney.com, GetSponsorshipMoney.com, which is this site here. As you can see, the enrollment will be closing in about 7 days. Next Friday, it's it. Because I can only offer this particular price and this particular package one time. So we're talking less than $1,000, $997. And that price will definitely go up for the next time I do this course. And you're going to be able to get this one-time price, 8 intimate office hours, your specific questions answered, access to all the video replays of those office hours, and of course, access to everything that's offered in the course. And just so you can kind of see, like, the course isn't any cheap looking course. Like, we put time and energy and investment into this course. We hired an instructional curriculum designer to help build it. Oh, I have it going fast right now. I got me on Speedy Gonzalez mode right now. So you can adjust all of that. Look at that look, huh? So anyway, we have everything in here, and I'm going to see you win. So go to GetSponsorshipMoney.com. This is a repeatable process, All right, enough on that. Told you I'd keep it fast and quick. Now let's go back. I want to go back to the presentation to wrap up on getting your questions answered, as well as bringing in Caryn really quickly here. Let me switch on over to that. Let me stop screen share here and bring Caryn up with us. 1 second. Do that. And there she is. All right. And Caryn, let me see if I can actually, if you want to come on camera, I think I just made it so that you should be able to tweak that and come on camera. For those of you that have questions, please put them in that Q&A because I will get to your questions. Your question will not go unanswered. Caryn, good to see you. How are
Hey,
you?
Mario. I'm great. I'm great. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, so good to
Great.
see you here as well. Tell us really quickly about you because I've been knowing you for a couple years now and trying to give you advice on things that you're
Yeah.
doing in the media. But tell us really quick what you're up to.
So during the lockdown, I really was on my own with my kids. I became a single mom just like during the few months before. And I thought, okay, I really have to embrace my love of cooking, get back into, I am a parenting expert, but like really entertain my kids as well. And like kind of out of the box, I got to think, in a better way because it's just me and them. And, I did things like creating game night, movie night, and the whole presentation and cooking fast and easy recipes. Because let's face it, I was tired too. But
Yeah.
that's what I started. I'd already been doing recipes and I'm a regular contributor, like you said, on a couple stations here in Connecticut. And so I'd been doing that and offering this to people. And then I just started creating content, like a lot of videos. And it was really fun. I had my kids in a bunch. And so that's, I'm creating a new brand, like a
Yes.
whole brand now with travel. I mean, kind of lifestyle. I'm trying to get away from that cultivated, but travel, culture, like my whole upbringing, my experience, like you say. So when I heard your Instagram live the other day, I saw it. I was sitting in Caryn picking up my kids, and I said, "Oh my gosh, 4 o'clock! I've got to make this. I'm going to do this." And I thought later, what if I'd missed that? Really, to see like the passion. I mean, I know you,
Right.
but to really, I was so excited, and I thought, okay, that night I'm going to do this. And it just, like you said, the light bulb went off because I thought, okay, I started to look like I have all this content. I have, I am a TEDx speaker. I have, and it's not like people need to have all these things. I don't have a lot of followers. I mean, I think that's been my hang up. Like, it's something that, like you said, there was something really interesting. You said like your own personal bar is high. It's very high.
Right.
But I always thought, oh, I have to do this. I have to do that before I can do this next step. So when I heard you speaking, I thought, oh my gosh, okay, I can do this too. Like I do all these videos. I can have product placement, not here, but in my kitchen.
Right.
I have like product
Yeah, we're
placement.
looking at we have the picture right here on the screen.
Yeah.
Like I see look, you see my mouse?
Potential.
There's signage that can go right here.
Yeah.
There's something that can be on the table right there. Where is your apron with that logo
That's
that you're gonna
right.
be wearing? Like the ingredients. Oh, what's this pot? No, we want the brand's pot that's gonna be there. So yes, absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, that's,
So,
I started to see all of that, and I actually started the course, and I have to say that I'm in the second module. I'm taking my time though, because I'm doing the work, but I love that, it's all in one place. It's not like you click and it goes to YouTube for some video. You've done an amazing job because you see the video and then you can scroll down. I printed out the workbook, but you can actually scroll down to that page in the Google Docs.
right.
It's like really that I'm really, really happy and really excited about it. So.
I'm super excited for you because I can't wait to see your videos after this and we start really working towards it. Now, brand deals take a minute. Sometimes they can happen super fast. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but we're going to teach you how to really get there quickly. And I can't wait to be able to look at one of your videos and be like, oh man, look at that product placement right there. That's it. So thank you so much. I'm not going to hold you up any longer. I want to get to the Q&A for folks, and I really appreciate you not only trusting me with your spend and your investment, but I want to congratulate you on letting that light bulb go off, because you sent me a DM and you were like, or it was a question in the text and you were like, I don't think I have anything sponsorable or anything to sell.
Yeah.
And that's when we really started digging into who you are and what you're about, and we uncovered all these opportunities for you.
And just quickly, you've always been so genuine, and I've always loved your energy, your podcast. My kids hear them. I just play them. I don't ask, I just play. We all get super energy. I have a lot of energy too, but you're like 100%. You're just the real deal. So anyone who wants to do it, you will get amazing Mario. So
thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to hear that, because it's just who I happen to be, luckily raised by my mom and dad in a really good way. And I really work hard at being a good human being. And I think that just happens to be something I just do consistently. So I appreciate you mentioning that. I'm not flawless, but I really do care about humans, and I really try to lead with as much empathy as possible. So I'm excited for you. All right. We'll talk soon. See you later. Have a great rest of your day. All right. Take care. All right, now I'm going to jump out and let's get over to the Q&A. Oh, this was Vernette. We'll skip Vernette right now. Vernette just won a deal based off a tactic that I taught her on how she could actually close Bacardi, which is great because she has her first inaugural event that she's doing with Bacardi. And so that's going to be phenomenal for her. So I'm really excited for her. So thank you, Caryn. Thank you, Dr. Vibe. Let's go to these Q&A. Let me see if I can answer these questions and let's get right into it. Carlina had asked, how do you sign up for that Google survey service? Is there a link for that? Off the top of my head, I believe it's forms.google.com. No, I'm sorry, survey.google.com, or just Google surveys. And then you'll be able to get to that. All right. So we answered that one. Let's see. How do you calculate your conversion history or potential in a way that brands want to see? And what numbers are considered good? It's not about numbers, Emma. It's about what the brand wants. So sometimes the brand, as I mentioned before, wants to see their brand spotlighted in a way. And so what you're going to show them are pictures and video of the impact. For example, when we did one of our seasons of the Never Settle show, one of the things that we did is we asked attendees, how much more likely are they now willing to buy from FedEx Office? And we were able to show them that 92% of our viewers to our show were more likely to spend money on FedEx Office than the competitor. And that blew FedEx Office away. The reason why that number was so high is because in our content, we did, we showed different ways that you could be using FedEx Office to further your entrepreneurial efforts or your events or your ideas. And so the fact that we were able to show that in not like a commercialized way, but more like a piece of content that was like a tip or advice, that gave more of the viewers an understanding at a higher level as to all the things that you could do with FedEx Office, not just shipping and sending things off. So you calculate your conversion history by understanding exactly what the metrics are. So if it's something that's specific about tracking, the brand or you will come up with a code that's attached to a URL, and then the amount of people that click on that and go through a process, or the amount of email addresses that you get them, all of these things are what's going to be trackable as part of your conversion. And, you know, in the course, we actually have all these types of sheets. I should have shown some of that, some of the worksheets and the templates and the pitch tracking, all of these things. You get the emails, how to talk to people, you get the reporting, how to do reports effectively. So we answer a lot of those questions deeper in the course. All right, let's go to Tiffany. Excuse me. Tiffany asks, thank you so much for all of these gems. My question is, as a self-care coach, I work primarily with girls from the hood, teaching them coping techniques such as breath work. How do I reach out to sponsors to provide resources, personal hygiene, and or stipends for the girls that I haven't encountered? Okay, look, if you're looking for brands, so this is more of a, I don't know if you're a 501c3 and you're a nonprofit, which if you are, corporate brand sponsorships is definitely a big space for you to be in. But number two, mental health and wellness is huge. So I can automatically think of meditative apps like Headspace and Calm. They should be donating their app to your students so that you can incorporate that into your program. That's worth, like, I think they're like, I don't know, $100 a year for the premium or something like that. But getting that would be one. If you're looking for in-kind, it's going to be easy. If you're looking for money, then you have to be able to prove the impact. So what you need in order to do that is you need to have some kind of tangible track record of where your students were, where these girls were before they got introduced to you. So when they come into your program, you ask them certain questions. What's your understanding of the, like, whatever it is you're trying to teach? If you're trying to teach them breath work, stress reduction, conflict resolution, confidence building, if these are all the things that you're trying to teach them, then what you have to do is ask them in advance, have you ever learned anything about breath work? Have you ever meditated before? Have you ever done stress reduction techniques? Have, you know, all these things that you plan to teach, you're going to ask them what has been their level of exposure on those things. And most of them are going to say like little to none. So now you bring them through your program or your process, you have some outcomes. Now you survey them again. What did you learn? What has the technique done for you? On a scale of 1 to 5, when will you use these techniques? How much will this make you a better person? How will you be able to make better decisions? How has this enhanced your confidence? All the things that you want as outcomes, you're looking for that in that survey. So now you have the pre and the post. You package that and you go to brands and you say, we've had an 86% increase in the amount of kids that are now doing meditative work. And that's making them a better human being. And that's making them a better citizen. And that's changing their family dynamics. And that's going to break the cycle to getting them out of low income and into mainstream and all this stuff. So that's the way. So if you're already doing programs, you need to be putting this in place so that you can have that data to then go out to sponsors, because sponsors are going to want to know. They don't have a problem giving you money for sponsorships for your students, but they're going to want to know, well, what has been the outcomes? What's been the impact? And then the most important thing is, why that sponsor? It can't just be that they have money. It's got to be something that's connected to what your program is about. That's why I instantly went to meditative apps. But there's so many other things that you could be thinking about, right? Yoga, mental therapy, healthcare, fitness and exercise, equipment, products, service. Like there's so many different things that a brand could want to give you money for if you can align them properly. So I hope that was helpful to you there. All right, let's see. Carlina asks, how would you recommend revisiting a conversation if you pitched them wrong the first time and are looking to reopen the conversation because you see the value in the partnership long-term? Beautiful question. So on that note, what I would do is I would restart the entire relationship. I would not even reference the first pitch. I mean, other than I'm reaching back out to you because I would like to have a discovery call just for 12 minutes to talk to you about your priorities. We see, my team and I, even if it's just you, see, because it's not going to be just you putting something together anyway. It never is. My team and I see some possibilities, but we want to make sure that what we see, we think is actually a right fit. And we don't know that unless we actually talk to you to identify some of your priorities. So can we have this brief discovery call to discuss your priorities? Then it's a matter of asking the right questions in that discovery call that gets them to reveal the answers that's going to help you come back to them with a customized pitch. That's the game changer, because now you told them, oh, okay, yeah, sure. I'd rather, as a brand, I want things pitched to me that make more sense. I want to use my time wisely too. And if you really see that there's a potential long-term partnership opportunity, and I love that word partnership, not just sponsorship, because that does get you into multi-year deals, recurring deals, and so on. So that's the way to go about it. I would definitely reach back out to them, start from scratch by asking for a discovery call. And then you're going to ask them specific questions about their priorities and what it is they're trying to achieve. Questions like, how do you track whether or not a sponsorship is of value to you? And it's a whole bunch of other questions that I'm running a blank, but that we tell you in the course and actually lay out in what that actual document looks like, so that you can basically grab, copy, paste, and use that. But that's how you would start it. So if you already have a relationship with them, that's what I would do if I were you. All right, cool. Let's go to, I hope I'm saying this right, Amma. How consistently do you have to post to garner sponsorships? It's not a numbers game. Great question, but it's not a numbers game in terms of, this is why this course is so important. And I'm sorry I'm harping on it, because there's so much misinformation. The misinformation is you have to have a certain amount of followers in order to get sponsorships, that there must be some kind of frequency in order to post in order to garner sponsorships. No, it doesn't. You can post once in an entire month. If it's the best post ever, and if it's the post that really speaks to the brand's problems and it gets results, the brand could care less how many times you do it. The brand's looking for effectiveness, not frequency, not efficiency. They're not looking to do more and just get crumbs. They're looking for effectiveness, not efficiency. So there's really no rhyme or reason or no right or wrong answer to the frequency of your posts at all. It's got nothing to do with it. What has to do with it is, are people engaging with your posts? Are people commenting? Are they sharing it? Are they saving it? Are they watching it? Are you doing some kind of call to action that then shows something on the other hand? Like, for example, I'm getting ready to try out something with reels where I'm going to be doing eyewear, and I'm going to be like doing a reel, and then I'm going to ask other people that have Zenni glasses to remix it. And so what I'm hoping is that I'm going to get other people that have been following me that have also bought Zenni glasses to remix my reel using Zenni eyewear. And there'll be like maybe a little mention or something that'll pop up in this reel. But that's just one real idea that I'm coming up with. The issue is, if it hits, that's amazing. If it hits, that's amazing. Okay, so with that being said, do we have any other questions? Oh yes, we have one more. Let's go down to Edo. Eddie Clark. Okay, let's see. And I got one that Shai just told me is in the chat that's not in the Q&A that I should definitely hit. Oh, is that this one, Eddie? Okay, I'm a video content creator and I already work with brands on my YouTube channel. However, payment is either access to their product, boo, or an affiliate link, boo again. Man, I know the pain. I get it. How do I get them to switch to paying me instead? All right, great question. So many people get this type of sponsorship deal. And for some situations, this can make a lot of sense. Like if you really want the product that could be helpful to you or your business, absolutely go ahead, do it, right? The other thing could be that, if you know that you will have people that will actually buy based off the affiliate link because it's a product that you know will do well and you're getting a decent commission from that, then maybe that makes sense. But we're talking in my course, I'm not talking about getting you in kind. I'm talking about getting you 5 and 6 figure sponsorship deals. So my advice to you would be, it's going to be hard to switch the ones that you already have. It's not impossible. It's just going to be hard. You're going to have to restart the relationship. You're going to have to tell them that the value of your show, the value of the engagement, and you're going to have some proof behind this, but that you are now switching to, payment only. But you're not going to be that cold about it. It's going to be more of a smoother process on how you do that. I'm just telling you exactly where you're going to go. You're basically switching your business model. You're saying that that's no longer my business model. I'm building a media company. I'm building a product. I'm building a service, and I need to actually, in-kind products don't pay the bills. So there are 2 approaches that I would take if I were you. One approach is I would immediately go to your competitors, go to the competitors of the ones that have already given you in kind. So I'd be coming up with a list of the competing brands of those brands that have already been on your show, because the brands that you're going to pitch that are the competition, they don't know that those brands didn't pay. That's the cheat code. They don't know those brands didn't pay. So you're going to present to them, I get brands sponsoring my YouTube channel all the time, and I really would like to work with your brand for these reasons, but I would like to have a discovery call to find out what your priorities are to see if it's a match. That will get you the door open. That's a non-obtrusive way to start a conversation, and they don't have to be on the defense because you're just asking for a discovery informational call with the competing brands. So that's what I would do on that note. For the existing brands, I would go to them first, by the way. I would go to the existing brands first to see if they say no. But I would go to the existing brands and I would say something very similar. I would say, hey, this has been great. We've been obviously doing really great having your products sent to me and reviewing them, and me being able to do affiliate links, but I'm switching my business model. And I would like to talk to you about your priorities so that I could see if how I'm switching my business model makes sense for you. But I want to learn more about what it is that's important to you. And then you ask these specific questions in that meeting, and then you come back to them with a customized pitch that says, you told me that you want to sell more of these widgets, or you want more people doing this thing. I've came up with a solution, 3 different ideas, not options, but 3 different ideas on how I can do this for you. And the price is $15,000. That's how you start to have the right conversation. Asking for money gets money. Asking for money gets money. The initial thing that will happen to you is you will get some of these brands will immediately be like, no thanks. And you got to know that that's going to come and that's going to happen. And that's a part of weeding out the energy that we no longer, Eddie is no longer out here talking about, give me some product that I can talk about or have. I need the moolah. So in order to get the moolah, I have to start presenting moolah options. So it may be painful for you at first to do this, but I'll teach you how to get the value right. I'll teach you how to understand what your value is. We had someone that just DM'd me and they were just like, I typically get like 5K and I just got a deal. She does sickle cell books for children and she just got a deal for sickle cell month. And she's like, I feel like after hearing you, I probably could have doubled or tripled what I got, but I'm so used to just charging for 5K that that's what I got. And so she's taking the course and she understands like, yeah, you could have gotten more for that for sure. But it's understanding your value, how to present it, how to negotiate, how to stand firm, understanding when they give you objections, how you respond to those objections. Like in the course, we give you a whole sheet of the common rejection things that you're going to hear and what you need to say in response to that. So I hope that was helpful. Any other questions? I think we have maybe one more. Okay, wait. Okay, let me fly through the rest of these really quick. I didn't realize we had one or two more. Carlina said, you mentioned that brand deals can take longer to close at times. If you are on a shorter timeline and are looking for sponsorship for smaller projects, what would you recommend? Should we focus on more local brands or go for both? So if you're on a shorter timeline, you got to go local first. National is going to absolutely take more time. But I will tell you this, the only difference that I would say is that you could go national, but you would go to the PR agency, not the actual brand itself. There are different reasons why you would want to execute on that, and there are different reasons why you definitely don't want to go down that path. I'm going to give you both. My first answer is you always want to go direct to the brand. Forget the middle people. The middle people have different KPIs, they have different measurements, and the middle people, while they can sometimes be helpful, more than often they get in the way. You want to go direct with the brand and have a relationship on the inside of that actual brand. That takes time, and especially for something that's a short runway, that's something that's going to take a minute. With that being said, if you really are under the gun and you have a short turnaround, going to the brand's PR firm can get you faster access to smaller budgets. So a PR firm can really quickly approve. It depends on the PR firm. Like we've done deals with IBM's PR firm, and they've been able to approve a $35,000 deal. But we go to other PR firms, and they can only approve, say, anything under 20K. But those can be faster turnaround deals because you're actually working with the PR firm, not directly with the brand. So one thing I would do is I would look at nationally, what are those big brands that you would like to have a part of your thing? Reach out to the PR agencies and see if you can get them to move quickly on the opportunity. I still hesitate on that because I'd rather your first introduction to a big brand be from the big brand. If you start with the ad agency, you have to now navigate through the ad agency or through the PR firm to get to the big brand. And that becomes sticky. And then what may end up happening is you could end up stepping on toes. So what I would do is I would just go local if I were you. I would go local and really focus in on local money, small business, easily accessible, especially if what you're doing has something to do with the local market. So I hope that helps. For smaller projects, that's exactly what I would be doing. Natasha, what if you have different types of audiences for your content? Would you suggest creating a type of hybrid customer profile when trying to come up with who your audience is? No. What I would suggest is a primary market, a primary target, and a secondary audience, secondary target. If you have too many targets, I would want to work with you to figure out why that is. Because if you have too many targets, it almost sounds like you're either too broad or you really don't fully, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm not saying this is you, but you may not fully have enough data that goes deep enough to really understand your audience at a deeper level. But there are always things that where you have audiences and you're like, dag, I'm not even trying to get this audience, and this audience is enjoying it too. So I get how that could be your situation as well. So you do have to have a primary target and a primary audience. So if I was to push on you and ask, who do you really reach at the end of the day? Who's the most important profile? Who's the most important avatar or person? And then you're going to really kind of drill down and be sharp about who that is. Now, who else is also getting value from what it is that you do? That's your secondary market. As it relates to the brands, the brand is going to care mostly about the market that speaks to them. So you are also in a really cool situation that if you have multiple audiences, you could find that you could be appealing to different types of brands, which is great. The deal is when you present yourself, do not present all the different types of personas. That's not it. You have to present the personas that make the most sense with that brand. So if you got fitness people, but you also have people into food, but you also got sneakerheads and you also got hairstylists, like you need to be able to know that when you go to the hairstylist brand, that you are presenting the hairstylist persona, not the sneakerhead. Follow the difference there. Hopefully that gives you some clarity. So you may be in a really great situation where you could be customizing pitches off of the basis that you have multiple audiences coming to you. So that's how you really do it. Otherwise, you're pitching a primary audience, and then everyone else falls into the secondary audience. Now, I'll say this. On that note, you shouldn't be pitching what you think the brand is looking for. You should be having the discovery call to find out what audience is most important to them. For example, when I talk to Zenny, you would think, oh, eyewear. People that need glasses would be the most obvious person that they probably want. So let me show them that I have people that wear glasses. Well, that's not it. That's just not it. People don't need to have sunglasses, but Zenny wants to sell a lot of sunglasses. Why? Because it's that time of year. So that's their priority right now. So do I have people that are more fashionably conscious about their eyewear? Do I have people that want to wear prescription-based fly eyewear that's in my audience? Confidence building is something that I didn't recognize. I know this because I wear glasses and I know how important it is for people to have glasses and feel comfortable about their glasses, not shy away from that. So confidence building, do I have an audience that speaks to the fact that Zenny wants to get people that are confident in their eyewear? Zenny wants to get more men buying more eyewear. Oh, I didn't realize. I would have thought like, okay, a guy's only going to buy one pair of glasses, maybe two, unless they're fashionable like me. Then, no. We want regular Joes. We want regular men to buy more than one pair of glasses. So once you have these conversations, you get to understand how you can then pitch and tailor who you have as your audience that matches up with their needs. And that's what gets you closer to the bag. And that's what gets you better deals. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. I would like to ask anybody right now, if there is anyone that has been here, that is still here, that is going to actually take the course and will buy it live on site. I want to know, do we have anybody that's going to getsponsorshipmoney.com right now and making the purchase, or you intend to make the purchase? Tell me in the chat. Let me see if I can scroll through here and see what we got. Carlina said already bought it. Okay. When did you buy it, Carlina? Did you buy it like at the beginning? Did you buy it during this session, or did you buy it like previous to this masterclass? Dr. Vibe says, I intend to. Yesterday. Oh, on the Biz Mixer. Yes, the Biz Mixer. Yes, the Biz Mixer's in the building. Yes. Let's see. Anybody else? Trying to see here. And by the way, there will be a replay of this. So make sure that you send this to your friends. And on that note, if any of you think that you do have friends that should be signing up, the friends that keep talking about, like, I need access to money to make my idea happen, and I can't take out a loan, or I don't want to, or I don't have the funds, blah, 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 blah. Those are the types of people that should be looking at this as an investment for them. We could, if you really think that you have some people that would really register before next Friday, at this great price, we could give you an affiliate link, which would mean that you would make about close to $100. I think it's like $99 or something like that. You would make off of every person that actually signed up. So it's easy for you. If that's something that you want an affiliate link. It's easy. You just need to let me know that you really can do it. We don't have the time to just give it to you if you think you can do it. We only can give it to people that you're actually going to send this as a text message to 10 of your friends, or you're going to post it in social media, or you're going to promote that there's this class that's available that you're taking that you think they should be taking. And therefore, if they sign up, you should get a commission for that. So if that's something that you really, really would like to have, go to my Instagram at Mario Armstrong and send me a DM. At Mario Armstrong. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Shy. He put in the Google form link in the chat. So you can just click on that Google form link in the chat, fill that out really quick, and then we'll know that you're really serious. That's actually the best way to do it. So thanks for doing that, Shy. Always thinking on the fly like that. That's crazy. Lisa, yes, I will purchase the class next week. That's great. I would love to know if Lisa, why waiting? Are you waiting? And I don't want to get all into your business. I'm just curious to understand, because there may be a lot of other people that are waiting too, and I just want to understand the mindset. Is there something in particular? It could be a paycheck. You don't need to tell me all that. I'm not trying to get into your business, but is there a reason that you're not making the purchase right now? Is there something else that has you on the fence? I'm not trying to pressure you into a sale. I'm just trying to understand, because I really want to understand my students or prospective students' mindset. So if you could help me get a little clarity with that, that would be awesome. If it's too personal, don't sweat it. don't bother with it. But I'm just going to ask because I'm just curious. Let's see. Dr. Vibe says working on the arrangements as we speak. Okay, so yeah, so in your case, you're working on figuring out the arrangements. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. This is important because we've tried to figure out pricing. We've tried to figure out, like, should we be offering, like split it up into different payments? We're not doing that for this particular round, but it's just good to be informed to try to get a sense. Like, would people have maybe made the choice to do something sooner had there been like 2 split payments or something like that? So it's just a thought. Let me see. Yeah, no problem. I have to count my pennies. Got it. No worries. All right. Anything else? Amma, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Just need to make sure I have the dough right now. And I am married. Yes. Beautiful. And then look, my wife, CEO Nicole, and I, we got to clear those purchases too. That's typically it. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't fear, or there wasn't some other hesitancy or other question that I wasn't answering. Because the typical reasons, and this goes for a brand, as well as anybody that's buying your products or services, the typical reason why someone won't buy is based off of fear. And so we have to figure out how to address that. 2, the spouse or partner. 3, timing. 4, the actual cost itself. And 5, they are worried about actually being successful. So, or they purchased something like this and they haven't had success with it, and they're worried that that's going to be a repeatable offense. And I know in the course space, I was just talking to a course expert, that the courses that offer the most office hours are the ones that are getting the best success for people. And it's one of the reasons why we doubled the amount of office hours. Most people that do courses do once a week, that they'll show up with you and be in a group session. I'm doing that twice. And they do an hour. I do an hour and 15. I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna go an hour and a half, just because I want to make sure I'm giving. But I'm also gonna be thinking about all of you, because I need all of you to win, like right away, because I want those testimonials. Because I also know that this can be a way to solve pain points. I know that this can be a way that once you learn, it's a repeatable process. It makes you smarter. You won't leave money on the table. You'll negotiate better. And so once you get your toes wet into this space and that uncomfortableness becomes comfort, it becomes a whole new revenue stream and a whole way that you operate. Doesn't mean you don't do all the other things. You could sell to consumers. You can still do all your other ways of generating income for yourself and your business. It just means that you now have a new revenue stream. Okay. Oh, I did miss one. So someone named Perry, thank you, Shai. Perry said that they would also be buying it. That's great. All right. Well, the reason why I asked is because I had the confetti ready. I was ready to pop the confetti in real time if we had a purchase that happened during this. This is my first masterclass on this topic for this week. I'll be doing one more, and I wanted to be able to pop the confetti live for anyone that bought. And that particular person that bought in real time was just going to get some special confetti from me. So that's why I'm asking all these questions. But I also wanted to make sure that I wasn't leaving anything uncovered. And there is a 30-day money back guarantee on the course as well. All right. Dr. Vibe said, I pitched the course to someone this morning. She will be making the decision by Monday. And you showed her some of my videos. Fantastic. And you already have an affiliate link, which means you will get a commission if she signs on. Mia says, I'm in 3 programs already, very interested, but don't think I can do anything else. Will you offer this again? Great question. I will offer this again, just not at this price. And I know that sounds pressured, and I'm sorry that it's going to come off that way, but I have to remain true. I've told everybody else that's already bought the course that I will never be offering this course at this price again. So I have to honor that. And one of the things that I've noticed in the course space is that a lot of times there's a lack of integrity when it comes to that, because it's just high pressure sales. And it's all about making you think that I'm going to not offer it at this price again. I live in integrity. The only way I've gotten to where I am today, and the only way I've been able to be successful where I am today, is because of integrity. So the price will go up. It may only go up $200. It may go up $800. Part of what's going to inform that is watching how fast we get wins for people and the amount of money that they're going to get in those wins. If your other programs are getting you money and you've already spent on that, then stay with that. Don't jump. If these are programs that are about personal transformation and some other things that can take time to work out, but you need money, then I would seriously consider doing this course. But the answer is I will be offering it again, and it will more than likely take about maybe 8 weeks, somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks before it's offered again. But I will still have the office hours, maybe not as much. We got to figure that part out. Still trying to figure that part out. But it will be a lot of still hand holding. But I do know that the price will go up, because I've told people if they bought at this price, it will never be this price again. So hopefully that's clear, but it's also non-pressured for you. All right, let's see. I'm in college right now, so split payments would be great. Laugh out loud, kind of broke. Eve, I get that. I would like you to DM me on what it is that you're actually doing in college that you think is that you would like to have sponsorable. So let me just DM me on Instagram. Let me just even see what that is to really understand what that's about. And maybe, who knows, maybe what we could do is you might be our first college student. Maybe we just need proof that you're actually in college and you're a college student. Maybe you get the first college student discount that would be like dramatically reduced, something that would be potentially way more affordable. Maybe, I'm just throwing it out there, but DM me at Mario Armstrong on Instagram. And I want to learn more about what it is you think, because before I even take anything from your money, I want to make sure that I think I can actually help you. That's why I want you to DM me so we can have a conversation about what it is you're trying to get sponsored. And then based off of that, I'll know whether or not that you'll be guaranteed to get money. Nobody will be guaranteed to get money, by the way, y'all. Nobody will be guaranteed, but the process will get you there. And that I can guarantee, because that I've lived, and you've heard from some people that I've already helped do this. All right, let me see. Shannon, honestly, this course and your price point is absolutely amazing. Thank you. Like, it's ridiculous, honestly, straight up. If I'm just being straight up with y'all, like, I'm actually devaluing myself. It really doesn't make me happy to do this price, because it's actually devaluing myself in the marketplace, which is why I want to keep it tight, keep it focused, get some of y'all in there, and then get that pricing page out of existence. Because there's no way in the world, y'all know that if you really have done any research on any courses, you all will actually see what the work that we've put in to what we're doing. Plus, this is something that's going to actually, generate income for you. And it's a repeatable thing that will generate income. But not only that, the amount of office hours that we're doing and the swipe files alone. Even the biz mixer who already bought the class sent me a DM, and they were like, the swipe files, the templates, the documents, the pitch ready things for you to copy and paste, the tracking. We got a spreadsheet that calculates your profit for your sponsorship packages. So you know how to actually build profit into your sponsorship pricing. We also teach you how to take money from the brand and use that for marketing so that you can get even bigger results, but you're using their money to fund your idea, and you're taking some of that money to go into your profit, but some of that money to go into the advertisement. You're actually getting the brand to pay you to advertise their thing through your vehicle. Like the cheat code and the tactics and the strategies are just so like, yes. So thank you. All of that to say that this course is a $3,000 course. No doubt about that. All right. Had I not just recently invested in a sponsorship course, I would have taken yours. Wait, there's another one? There's another one? There's another one? Okay, DM me in Instagram who this other course is that you took. I would love to know. I'm sure there are other ones. We found them too. We did some research. I'm just being funny. But please DM that to me. I would like to know whose course you took. Plus, I would like to see who they are. And there may even be possibilities, depending on what their track record and all that other stuff, that there could be collaborations. That's the way I think. I'm always looking. I'm always open. I'm always creating possibilities. I don't let the options define my objectives. And I teach my students how to create options to not be defined by the only options that are being presented, but how do you create options that increase your possibilities? So I would love to know who that is. Please DM it to me on Instagram at Mario Armstrong. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that feedback. Okay, let me see. Any other questions that I may have missed that are related? Let me see. Okay. All right, good. All right, everybody, fantastic. We spent more than enough time with each other. I hope that you got everything that you needed from this. If you have any other questions, please DM me on Instagram. Make sure that you go to getsponsorshipmoney.com and really review that and take a look at the hard work that we put into this. It took us 7 months to make, and we hired an instructional curriculum designer. You heard from Caryn earlier, who said she loves how easy it is that everything is in one space. We don't have you running all over the internet to find resources and pull things together, that we really took the care and the time to make activities build upon each other so that the Lego blocks actually matter, so that the activities that you're doing today are going to inform things that you're going to do 3 days, 4 days, 5 days from now. So that at the end of this, all of those activities add up to giving you all the things that you need to actually start that pitch process. And in some cases, some people in the middle of their course taking are going to start pitching because they're going to be more than ready to do so. So thank you for your time. Thank you for attending the webinar. If ever you hear about me in the streets, on IG, in social, do me one favor. If all of you could tell somebody, I just took Mario's free masterclass. If this is true, I just took Mario's free masterclass and that dude gave a ton of free value. I really want to separate myself from the market and not be the one that's like, how long is it going to take to get to the value? How much time are you going to spend before you actually give us the tips? Oh, these are basic tips. I could have got that off of Google. Like, I really want my brand and me and the Never Settle Academy to be known that if we do a free masterclass, you better attend it because you're going to get something of value out of it, regardless if he's pitching something or not. So if that was your experience, can you take a screenshot of this? Can you take a screenshot of the website? Can you take a screenshot and put it in your story? In fact, show me love by going to getsponsorshipmoney.com. Take a screenshot of that, or a screenshot of me right now doing like this. Yo, what up? I can only hold this for so long. And then tag me in your story. Tag me in your story, but make sure you put in getsponsorshipmoney.com. Getsponsorshipmoney.com. Tag me in your story, and then I'll definitely respond. I will also follow you, and I will also make sure that I add that to my story as well. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your patience. And for those of you that invested in me and in my team and in this course, thank you for believing in us. We will definitely do our damnedest to make sure that you're getting the sponsorship deals that you deserve. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe, and I'll see y'all on the internets. Getsponsorshipmoney.com. Peace.